Abraham and Sarah were very old when their son Isaac was born. God had promised they would have more descendants than anybody could count, as many as the stars in the sky. All of the people on earth would be blessed because of Abraham and Sarah's family. So their son Isaac was very, very special. Later, God made a test to prove that God was really more important to Abraham than anything or anyone else. God told Abraham to do something that sounded strange. Abraham was to take Isaac to a special mountain and offer him to God. Long ago in the Bible, people gave gifts to God to show they loved him, to thank God for something, or to say to God, "I'm sorry, please forgive me." These gifts were called sacrifices. When the gift was an animal, the animal was killed when it was sacrificed. People offered God the best animal they had. This time, though, God told Abraham to give Isaac as a sacrifice. Abraham loved Isaac very much. God said Isaac would have children, Abraham's grandchildren. How could that happen if Abraham gave Isaac as a sacrifice? Abraham believed that God would make things turn out right. So Abraham obeyed. Early in the morning, Abraham, Isaac, and 2 helpers took a donkey and the supplies they needed. They walked for 3 days until they came to the place God had told Abraham about. Then Abraham and Isaac went by themselves up the mountain. "What are we going to sacrifice to God?" asked Isaac. Abraham replied, "God will give us a lamb to sacrifice." Abraham built the altar and prepared to offer Isaac to God. A voice called from heaven and said, "Abraham, I see that you are willing to do what I said. You did not have to offer your son Isaac." Abraham looked up and saw a fine sheep caught in the bushes. God had sent a lamb to sacrifice instead of Isaac. God could see that Abraham loved him most of all. God said to Abraham, "Because you obeyed, you will have as many descendants as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. All the world will be blessed because you obeyed me." Abraham showed his faith in God when he was willing to sacrifice Isaac. Isaac also showed he was ready to do what his father said. This is a clear picture of God, who was willing to sacrifice his only son, and of Jesus, who was willing to do what was necessary for God's plan of salvation. Isaac's life was spared because God provided a substitute. We need a perfect sacrifice as our substitute for sin, and God provided a perfect sacrifice in his Son, Jesus Christ.